Hey, everybody, welcome. Hey, Mike. Hey, Charlotte.
The pictures don't match what we have going on today.
I have changed a lot. It's been a big makeover. Surprise!
It's all good.
I was about to bust out laughing when the cover went up because I was like, man, Andrew really got an upgrade. So I'm just gonna put that out there. But everyone, welcome. That tripped me up a little bit. Welcome to the TMS call, Technology in Our Marketing and Sales. And we are excited here on the Trust Factor, Mike and I, bringing sales and automation and high touch, high tech, but multiplied by high trust, bringing that message every week on the Trust Factor. And every month on the third Thursday, we get to go live. And today, unlike the banner photo, we are bringing on a special guest, Charlotte Harrell, who's our friend who Mike actually actually, Charlotte, I think you introduced me to Mike. So let's make sure we get that straight. And so welcome. You are all
hold on. We're getting I can't hear Tim very well message on here.
Take the all right. Is that everybody?
Which I can hear you just fine. And while Tim's working on that,
thank you.
There we go.
Let's try that.
We'll see if that's better. All right.
So welcome, Charlotte. Welcome to the live stream. And we're excited to dig into a topic today that I don't know that a lot of us are looking at from the right angle. And that's YouTube and how it can really power our communication, education, and business growth for that matter. And put AI on top of that. And wow. So we're going to break it all down. Mike, do you want to say anything? You know Charlotte, or you've known Charlotte much longer than I have.
I've known Charlotte for a while. It's interesting with both of you guys because I had a reason to get connected with you guys, and it took years for the actual connection to come. So to be fair, Tim, we were introduced by Valerie Kozlet through Jason Cron, and so right. Yep. Jason gets his feelings hurt really easily. So if we, make sure he's kind of a big baby. And then, but Charlotte put together an event with Jason's help and brought me in for us all to speak. And what we knew about Valerie then was very true that we would be cut from the same cloth and be able to turn into this really awesome friendship that you and I have. And same thing with Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte and I have gotten, and you know what the cool thing about Charlotte is we help each other. And business is starting to happen because of it, but it's never been the goal. Like the conversation has never been like, well, you do this for me and then I'll close your leads. It's like, hey, I'm going to authentically give and help you. And then I'm going to do the reverse. And we just, enjoy kind of being together and hanging out. And there's Zakaya who knows all about it because she's done some stuff with both of us. And so good to see you out there. And thanks for the wave, Zakaya. So just ultimately, it's really just been an amazing partnership because we're both kind of big thinkers. And so then we can kind of push the envelope, but then Charlotte fills gaps for me. So we're getting ready to, like I said, to bring Charlotte into our office for some trainings and help, I'm a master on the relational side. I just got done through a conference and I actually realized that now even more so how we do some relational things on a different level, even than some people who think they're doing things relationally. But Charlotte is a master at making sure that everything digital supports the referrals that you're getting, helps you generate new leads, gets eyeballs on you in a way that provides value and is just an amazing. And she loves teaching this stuff to people. So as you hear Charlotte today and you're like, hey, this is awesome, reach out to her. Chances are you all can work out how to bring her into your office and give your agents, whether you're in real estate, title, or lending, something of real value. So
thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. With that being said, Charlotte, we'll turn it over to you and let you just kind of talk about, what you want to talk about today.
My passions. Well, you hit it on the head, but I have to tell you that the reason that I love teaching and the reason that I love tech and the reason that I like kind of put my spin on tech is it's in my name. I like to have fun in everything I'm doing. And I do mortgages, which I don't know if you guys know this, but mortgages is kind of like doing numbers and financing. It's not typically the most fun thing in the entire world. So to bring a fun element into it, you really can bring some tech and some marketing pieces that really like you said, the more you can align it with your core values and then like serving the people that you are around, the more fun it is because you're getting that human connection and really just it blows up. So my whole reason for loving to teach and loving to add I'm good at two things, mortgage and technology. Those are my two little things, right? So if you put those together and want to have fun with them, you just make them relational. That's exactly what you do. So I love doing it. It's my passion, and it crosses all of the different areas in real estate, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and you do it well. I think one of the things that spoke to me when we first started talking, by the way, Charlotte and I are doing an event next week together, and she's just been a huge supporter of our family of companies, title companies, and so came out to Energize and spoke on the panel with Mike, and you've just been such a resource, so thank you. And one of the things that really attracted me to how you do YouTube, our topic for today, to bring kind of focus to all of these things we're talking about: relationships, education, making marketing fun. Charlotte channels that through, well, a lot of social platforms, but on YouTube, what I really loved, number one, was when we first spoke, Charlotte, if you remember way back, you said, hey, you're talking, you said, hey, I want to bring you in for this event. And we kind of landed on AI. And you, in the conversation, our very first conversation, you said, hey, do you mind if I text you a YouTube video where I just broke this topic down? I think your partners would enjoy that. Immediately when you said that, it took me back to something we coach on. It's how do you, if you're a real estate agent sitting at my island, talking about the buyer agent agreement and we're getting signed and you're like asking for the referral, right, Mike? And you're like talking about how the relationship's going to go. But you're like, listen, I've got this YouTube video that I interviewed the title company that, and you may have just made that recommendation. Hey, there's all these options, but we really like ABC Title because they do such a great job. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. You're like, hey, I did this interview on wire fraud with my title partner. And whether you work with ABC Title or not, I want you to be aware that there's a target on your back. Do you mind if I text that link to you? Right? So you have literally just said, I'm looking out for you, whether you work with me or not. So in that first initial conversation, you made yourself sticky to me by sending me a link to a platform that I think is, whether I'm a senior citizen or a millennial or it's not TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. There's a time and a place for all those platforms. But YouTube is very transcendent. It's very universal for education. Not to mention what we're going to get into is some of the long form, the AI powering, but it was also short. It was a short, I think, 7-minute high hitting AI piece that you had made, I think, for your mortgage partners. And it was, so anyway, let's talk about like what YouTube is for you in your business. Cause I think if we frame it through that, it'll start helping us understand begin with the end in mind, as opposed to, oh, it's just another platform. It's YouTube. Cause that's what I hear a lot. Like, why YouTube, right? So can you break that down, what YouTube is for you in your business process?
Yeah, and you hit it in the fact that it is so cross-plane, right? So YouTube is fantastic for, in the case that I gave it to you, it was just one of those things that I've already taught this. I recorded it on my YouTube channel, and I can send it to you, and you can actually see it in action, right? So it's better than just me telling you. So it was just an educational tool in that situation, which is fantastic. It's great. If you're having a conversation with someone and they're like, oh, I wish I knew how to do that. I got you. Here's a link. Anytime I learn something, I'll show it on YouTube. It's just a 3 to 5 minute video teaching you how to use Descript or how to use, the Canva for a special type of thing, or an AI, whatever that looks like. So one, the educational piece is big, but it also comes in very handy for multiple reasons. You said sticky. When I sent you that link, it gave some credibility because it was actually recorded, and this is like, I'm showing you. Yep. But secondly, it saved me a conversation that I've had over and over and over again. So there's also the part that allows me to be more efficient in my business. So there's a second thing. But on top of that, it does, if you do this YouTube channel style of a format, when people Google search something that you are a professional in, if this is your thing, and they Google search that, if they're looking for how can I make a real estate flyer in Canva, right? You're going to come up in those searches. Or if you're somebody saying, what is title insurance and why do I need it? Then you can come
Right.
up in those searches. So it also adds as a marketing piece for the masses. But on top of that, anytime you're doing anything, it adds credibility because
Yep.
they can go back and see that you're not just saying this. You've been teaching this. You've got this platform there. You've been sharing the information. So it just hits on so many different levels. And then honestly, it's just a great way of connecting with people. I could tell you this over the phone. I think, Tim, when you and I were talking about the AI, it was over the phone. So if I connect that to a video, I'm a big believer. I love a podcast, don't get me wrong, but there is something powerful about
Yeah.
being able to connect on video and somebody seeing your facial expressions and they get excited when you get excited.
Yes.
It comes across in that video.
Okay, putting you up there.
Yeah. Do you
There it is.
see?
Recharging champions.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, when I searched you up, I just searched Charlotte Harrell. Your YouTube channel was like, I think #2 link recommended, right? I saw your Instagram, I saw your Facebook, but there's a YouTube channel. And it's interesting, right? When you come down to the different videos that you have out there, and I do want to talk about thumbnails just a bit, but like if I was right away within the first scroll, I just saw this wire fraud warning, right? Yeah. So your thumbnails do pull people in, I feel like. And I think there's a little bit of art to that, right? Or is it just your fun coming through?
It's probably, honestly, it was trial and error because if you go back in history, they weren't nearly as good at the beginning. You learn and you get feedback. Thanks
and Tim, we're not doing this at all. Like we got to start doing this with the show. Honestly, like we're not doing this at all.
Correct.
So again. I believe there is an episode on how to create a thumbnail in my YouTube channel.
Yeah, we need it.
Positive. I'm almost
I'm
positive.
gonna check that one out first. Yeah.
But I do mine in Canva. I use ChatGPT to start it, and then I finish it in Canva. They're very simple, and they do make a difference because when somebody's going through, I hate to say this, I am attracted to color and bright, right? So if you just have the dark room, if you were starting a YouTube channel, one thing that I learned, this was, again, if you go back to my early episodes, I didn't have that. And I've had feedback and watch Mr. Beast. I mean, if you're going to get somebody that has, Mr. Beast has pretty good thumbnails.
Yeah.
So, I think a couple of mine, my head's blowing up, and I definitely got that from Mr. Beast.
Well, you are bringing the fun to it. I think here's a couple of things. So I asked this question I asked 2 questions in the email that went out yesterday. And one big question is, is everyone just loving all the shorts, all the reels that you see on Facebook when you scroll right now? No. What are we seeing? Don't say these 3 sentences, or what? You're just seeing all this like AI garbage generated, and it's all like these sponsored ads. And even some of the real estate stuff I'm seeing from some of my good partners, it's their kind of an AI clone they're playing around with. And it's just, and then it leads to the next question we asked. Did you know that the world is asking one universal question right now when they engage with online platforms? And it is this. Mike, is it real?
Is it real?
Is it? We're all doing it. You're doing it. You were just on last night looking at something. You said, is this real? You're going to YouTube and all of these AI generated videos, documentaries, news. There was one that was live the other day, and I scrolled past it, caught my eye, and I looked in the comments, and thankfully there was like somebody like Mike Gundolf out there who's like high trust. And he's like, guys, get off this live. It's 3-year-old news story or whatever. But it was like somebody was streaming just to get clicks, right, on this old, the sky's falling video. So we're seeing this. And while I will be the first to run in and leverage a technology, I will be the first one to tell you in this day and age, lean out. Do not lean in. Lean out of cloning your face and voice. The more authentic, like when we came on and I was busting, I got almost sneezed and couldn't really even launch the show. When we came on, that's what makes this stick right now more than ever before. The the imperfection. And Andrew does a whole piece on this, but with AI, we're starting to see a sea of sameness. Even as I, Mike, I know I share this strategy of, listen, you get a behind the scenes video at closing or open house or whatever, and you could take and go to AI and, have it build a caption for that video. I see a lot of people just captioning very basically, not giving it enough of their brain space so that it sounds exactly like it's typing for me, not. So when you dump about that video, don't get AI to change it. AI will actually lean away from your humanity, and it puts a lot of the thes instead of the r's. It puts the, and then because of, and it always contrasts. If you notice, it's it always makes some big contrast. This isn't, but this is. So it always has that feel of almost better than. And have you noticed ChatGPT right now is correcting you a lot? Hey, great point, but I would finesse this just a little bit. So it always has its little, I'm going to finesse this a little bit. Actually, no, I just want you to type for me right now. Grammatically fix this, but don't change my heart of what this behind the scenes video is. So I think we really need to be careful that we're leveraging AI for the data analysis, for some of the things we're going to share with chopping a long form video up and all those wonderful things, but be very careful that we're not just leveraging AI to create a bunch of video garbage that our partners actually would not share. Because let's get back to that, Mike. What makes you look at Charlotte and say,
well, here's, I want to say a couple things first off, because I think one of the things that we didn't hit on, again, I'm constantly thinking about how it's being perceived by the consumer. Well, if Charlotte sits down there and says something about, hey, here's and I'm thinking more of her mortgage world because it's applicable to the real estate agents and lenders and title people we've got going on. Here are the things that you need to have prepared, and she sends a video to get a pre-approval letter or whatever else. Well, the person then can now click on that link when they're actually ready to receive that information, right? Instead of us, how many times do we say, man, we told the client that, and they didn't listen, blah, blah, blah. And we're not even putting into consideration, number one, we're blasting them with information in a space that they're not 100% sure of what's going on. In some ways, Tim could tell you that we're blasting them with very personal information, and it seems like a lot of they're digging in very deep as he's going through his process right now. And so giving them an opportunity to then just check this out and say, okay, I need to look and hone into this right now because this is what I need to do. And then having the next videos with really good, those images be really strong. Say, oh, well, here's the video on this thing, and then here's a video on this thing, and then they can kind of piece together their own education the way that they need to have it at that time. Is just, I think, very important and really effective. So yeah. With that being said, Charlotte, you're the person here. Let's get some takeaways. Let's get some people some things that they can take some action on.
First, I love AI. So I love using AI. I teach AI all the time. But there's this level of humanity that you have to, like Tim said, make sure that it is not taking away. So first, I would say always, if you're creating a thumbnail, you put your words into that thumbnail. Let it be your thoughts first. Whenever you're writing an email, and you have your own style, and that's very popular to have AI change your email and make it more professional. I absolutely will I feel pretty confident in my email writing. Yeah, it's me. It's going to be fun. It's not going to be super direct, but people want to hear me, right? They chose me for a reason. So I will actually tell AI to not change any of my words, just fix my horrible spelling, right? Just don't change my words, just fix my spelling. So it can still be useful without taking over the conversation. We don't want to let AI take over your conversation. Right. For example, I said I start in AI and I go to Canva, and I do this on everything. My platform is AI is a great soundboard to go back and forth and let your brain think. And it is a great time saver for doing things that you could do yourself. So I could create a thumbnail in Canva from scratch. But if I tell AI using my Canva connection, hey, I want to create a thumbnail that's using black and yellow today. It wants to be loud, and I want to have lightning in the theme. Yeah. Just that, right? Then I come over and I take that into Canva and then I put my stuff in it. It's still me. It's got my stuff. The titles are going to be Charlotte titles. They're going to be goofy and silly, and that's going to be my voice, and that's me. So I use that AI to keep the speed. It's great for speed. It's a great, I think where people lean in too much, and Tim kind of alluded to this, is when you let it be your brain.
Yep.
It should not be your brain. It takes away the humanity, and we can see it. We so see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's powerful. Speaking of leveraging AI and not losing your brain, one of the powerful, let's shift just a bit, why YouTube, right? And we've heard from law firms like, hey, we had a YouTube channel going, nobody was engaging with it. I think that right now with AI, YouTube's already made a comeback. YouTube made a comeback when they really leaned into the shorts. They knew they had to compete with TikTok. So that we saw in the last couple of years. I feel like they've always been the #1 for education. Like if you want to learn how to change the engine on your 1994 Oldsmobile, that was YouTube's thing. It was the education, the how-to. What happened was they started leaning into the news. So 5-10 years, 10 years ago, but then really 5 years ago with COVID, news stations, news media realized we had to reinvent ourselves. So everybody went to YouTube for news. So now people are going to nightly news, podcast. I mean, we're all podcasting now. So podcasting leans into YouTube. So YouTube had a big comeback, right? And you don't see a lot of dance videos when you get on YouTube, right? Even the shorts, a lot of AI right now, but not a ton of like dance video. That TikTok kind of was. TikTok's still valuable, but YouTube is education. And if you're Charlotte, edutainment, right? So, but the power I think that YouTube gives us is, even if you're a law firm listener, right? Just whoever's the driest company on today. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like some of us need to be dry and actually look at the black and white on paper. So, you know what I mean? And that's where you said the numbers earlier were. But if you think my YouTube channel can't be, it won't be interacted with it. We could put a ton of stuff out there education wise, but it won't, like, it didn't work for us before. I think we need to realize that AI can, even if the YouTube channel went nowhere for you, it was just a bank of education, just a library, like the dustiest shelf in the Library of Congress. And these are books that you're writing, like wire fraud book, what happens at a closing book. And you just had these pieces. With AI, we now have the ability, without losing ourselves, to take that transcript, to take that long form, and to power written articles for the VLTA or the Alta article or the Housing Wire, or like all of these great publications who need a really great voice to like re-articulate our value as an industry. YouTube becomes a powerful source leveraging AI. So why don't we shift into some of that with transcripts that we can grab, shorts that we can create, and I'll share the screen and let you guys talk through it. I'll be quiet and share some screens as we talk through it. Let's start with transcripts. And Charles, I'm going to share my screen and show one of your videos on wire fraud. All right, let me try and do this again. So how are you guys grabbing?
Oh, we had it up there.
Yeah, I've got to do
No,
it.
We didn't.
Yeah, sorry. Give me a second.
Yeah, I'm using this. There's lots of different platforms that you can grab the video from YouTube and throw it in and get the transcript. I'm a Descript user. I use it for editing and for that, so it's multiple. But there's lots of different options that you can use. They all basically do the same thing. You take the YouTube link and you put the script right in, and you can pull it out for.
Yep. If you're on YouTube, YouTube's a Google product, right? So in Google Chrome, they have this free extension called GLASP, GLASP, GLASP Web Highlighter. And any YouTube video you're on, whether it's Charlotte's, your own, or something from the NAR. I mean, you could have any video with statistics, whatever. GLASP gives you the transcript. So copying your transcript is one button, or you can push it right over into ChatGPT from here.
Well, I mean, really, I'm wondering too, though, like, and Charlotte, I can't remember if you use Notebook LM at all or not, but like the Notebook LM tools with a video, and because again, Google product with a Google product might be another really good option to go in there and pull, especially if you want to get very specific on what you want to pull out of it. But
Right.
That's what I would be using. I'd be using Notebook LM.
Gotcha. Well, and Notebook's powerful too, right? So you can go upload into Notebook your YouTube link, and then power through. Let me show you guys. Like, so Charlotte, how are you creating? You're doing Descript for your shorts?
Yeah. So no, not for the shorts.
Okay.
So, and actually, I have to give you multiple answers. When I am creating content from my YouTube, if I have most of my YouTube slots are very short, so I don't do a ton of. The only shorts that I do for my YouTube are really here on YouTube.
Okay.
I don't cross them over to my social platforms like Instagram and Facebook. However, if I'm doing a long video, if I'm interviewing somebody and there is a long video that I take, I actually go in and I take that video and put it in. Charlotte's gonna brain fart the name of that tech. Mike, you and I use it all the time. What's the name that splits up your videos and does all the shorts?
Descript or Opus?
Like,
Opus,
are you talking about
you.
like? Oh yeah,
Opus.
Opus clips. Yeah.
Opus.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was just the name of it was eluding me. Opus Pro does a really good job of taking that long form, and it is so simple. Like if you don't have time to do a lot of detail work, you just go in and you pick the couple that you like. So if I'm creating long YouTube videos into actually shorts for Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, I'm going to use Opus Pro. If I am taking my YouTube and just making a shorts for YouTube, I am the easy way out and I just do it right for my video and YouTube. It's easy. You just clip the one that you want. You just do it right there in YouTube. I can do it for my phone. I do it a lot of times when I'm sitting on a plane. I don't do a ton of editing with that because it's just literally a short from my YouTube video. I'm not having to create new content. When I create new content, that's when I use Descript. So Descript is what I use for new content.
Okay, so Descript for new content, powerful. Opus for taking a long form, kind of like Mike and I did here. We took a 30-minute podcast on stop chasing deals, threw it into Opus, and
so easy.
And it generates all of your captioned shorts, which then you can leverage across multiple social platforms.
And it gives you that little score right there. How much weight do you put in those scores they got? Like the viral score or whatever they put into the Opus.
Charlotte, you're our guest. Why don't you answer?
I was going to say I will lean towards those first, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to spend a ton of time editing those because I really just want something quick. So if the one that has a really good score isn't really sometimes it's not getting the point across, even though it would go viral. Like I'm a little bit more about the meat rather than the flair.
Well, again, and this comes down to like, anyone can be an influencer and be chasing views, but can you be a person of influence that really is getting the follow-up question? And, would you rather have 1,000 views on a video, or would you rather have 10, but 2 people actually sent you a DM and said, hey, I have a question about this? Which one's more impactful?
Yep.
One's entertainment and one's actually moving the needle and getting getting the job done. Yeah.
And there's a place for both. Even the entertainment. I actually watched your episode the other day, guys, talking about that. And I would just say that in my industry, if I have a ton of people and this is specifically for YouTube, not Instagram and Facebook. If I have a ton of followers on my YouTube, then even if they are not going to send me a transaction, that can lead to credibility. I don't know if that goes the same for Facebook or Instagram. I'm not sure if that leads to credibility on that or that you're just really entertaining because it's entertainment. That's what that is. It's entertainment. But I will say that there are times that I will, for my YouTube channel, I just want views and people to watch. So I know my stuff. I'm teaching good stuff. Like I'm teaching good stuff. I want more people to view it. I want to have credibility from those views. So I'm good with somebody in Connecticut, even though I can not do a loan in Connecticut. I'm really fine with them watching my videos and following my channel.
Yeah.
Well, is the credibility in the views or in the subscribers?
Both. If somebody was going to search, should I get title insurance? And the video that pops up has 1 million views. You guys know this. If you look at something, it's got 1 million views. I'm going to be more likely to trust that, even if I'm not even looking at how many followers that has. Now, if somebody is interviewing me to come in and teach a class and they go to my channel and they see how many followers I have, it depends. So the answer is both.
It depends on what your goals are, right? And now you're at like 1.6 thousand followers. I think for this industry, that's incredibly healthy. Mike and I just launched the Trust Factor, obviously for me, and expanding roles and expanding things, I'm looking for more consolidation in my life. So it's Mike and I are doing this podcast every week. We get on Saturday mornings, have coffee together, build each other up really. And then we record, and we were both doing all these trainings every week and working. So we're literally organically meeting, having coffee, and then recording some of the things that we're thumb on the pulse stuff out in the industry. That's what the trust factor is. We both believe in technology packaged with touch, but multiplied by trust. So that resonates well. And then I say, hey, why don't we put this live stream and house it with the trust factor? Why? Because YouTube actually, and you guys chime in who are listening, YouTube has made it easier. It's like, oh, where did my Zoom registration link go? You know how many emails I would get before going on Zoom, and I'm hosting Zoom and I'm answering emails to, here's the Zoom link, here's this, or, now it's like, subscribe,
go to
and
this link.
see the live come up. It's
Yeah.
how I consume a lot of great stuff with my kids is on YouTube, and you get that consistency going. So for me, okay, YouTube has made communication and has made education easier for my clients. So I would recommend that you think about that. It doesn't have to be about subscribers. I mean, Mike, we launched ours and we're getting close to 100, but it's like, that's just, for us, that's a slow grow. It's not the ultimate thing.
Yeah.
But it's cool when it grows. But if we try to measure that right off, people think I'm not getting traction. Really, the traction should become, is this making it easier for my clients to be educated? And one last piece, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Mike, you referenced it earlier. It's timing. So if I get an email from you as a loan officer or a mortgage banker professional, and you're like, hey, here's this application, or here's this, whatever the stage you're at, or a title company, here's this message from Quality, it comes through. Well, then I get this SMS, this text message from you saying, hey, and basically this text message becomes what we call a highlighter. Hey, in your inbox, we just sent you this, and here's a brief YouTube video in case any of that doesn't make sense. So basically, Charlotte, you said it earlier, you're saving a conversation, but I believe properly placed communication and education cuts down on so much inbound or delays, simply for the fact that I see it. It's a lot of text on a page. I'm a busy professional. I flag the email and I'm going to check in with that, or I'm going to upload my documents, or I'm going to later, as opposed to this perfectly timed, here's why this matters. And all of us could go do that. We could go take the most frequently asked questions throughout our process, create one playlist, and then figure out that when this goes out, this highlights in a text message. And does that make sense? I mean, that's where I feel like YouTube has an infinite power in our sales conversation if we're thinking the outcome is ease of use for our consumer, first and foremost. And then the long form education, podcasting, or interviewing, your business banter that I saw in the lives where you interview people, that can be turned into social media content, or you know what I mean? Yeah. So what are your thoughts about the different channels, right? Public, unlisted playlist, and communicating that out?
So first, you had mentioned the slow grow, and I just want to talk to anybody that's thinking about doing a YouTube channel, because it is a commitment. It is not easy, and it is not something. I mean, I have over 1,000 followers, and I've been doing 2 to 3 episodes every week for 2 years. So it is not a fast overnight thing. It is, and it does take time. So my advice for somebody in the business world who's already busy, we're already shuffling and managing so many plates and trying to keep them going, right? Make sure that your YouTube channel hits more than one thing. So make sure that your YouTube channel is something that you can use to save yourself time in another part of your business. Make sure it's something that you can use to save or to help grow. Like for me, it's to help grow realtor business, of course, and then also the credibility with my clients. So there's multifaceted growth that I can get from my YouTube channel. So it doesn't feel like having those followers quick is such a necessity because I'm getting better value from it for other things.
Yeah.
So,
Can we stop right there real quick and just explain
Yeah.
that? Because for me as a broker, that is such an important takeaway, because I think I struggle, right? I struggle with the idea. It's like, okay, who's my core audience? Is my audience, the clients that we want to have RE Solutions list and sell their home, or work with us on the buyer side? Or is my client the agent that we're trying to potentially attract to our brokerage? Or is my client the agent who's across the country who we're hoping that will help us change the algorithm? And so knowing that, we can serve multiple purposes in one channel is it's freeing for me, because I think lots of times we get caught up in, it's like, who's your core audience, and trying to just stick with the core audience. He's showing off his little coffee mug.
I want to change the algorithm, man. I love it.
Yeah, I gave you an actual change the algorithm coffee mug. Where's that? That's what we need to know.
It doesn't hold enough coffee. It was too.
Right.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, you need to drink more espresso is what it
You need
comes down to.
espresso shots. I knew that was coming.
Charlotte, this is water, okay?
Okay.
This is water. So, for those of you who don't know,
This
Charlotte
is
and I
not.
Charlotte and I are going to 75 hardish together, and it's whipped my butt 3 times. I'm on day 33, so actually no,
That's
today's
awesome.
34.
34.
Where are you at, Charlotte? You're almost to 75.
We're real close to 75.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're in the last 30 days.
You're gonna split the pot before I get there. Yep.
Yeah, that's all right. I will keep on with you. How's that?
Well, I know you
Because
will.
it's
We're gonna do it
such a good thing.
next week. You'll probably be finishing. We'll have to celebrate.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so changing the algorithm, your agents across the country, your customers. I believe I know the majority of our listeners this morning through the TMS channel, you're entitled. Here's what I believe. I believe that you attract similar like vision, and you attract people who are trying to go the same direction as you. So I believe that if you're working with real estate agents to showcase, hey, we want to be a partner of value. We want to deliver value. And hey, we've created this channel. It's not all about, that's where I kind of get a little hesitant when it's, well, what brand should it be? Pick whatever you're doing today, pick whatever your brand, you could evolve that later, but just start educating, start saving time, start making easier. Like by you getting on and demonstrating your willingness to add value in that way, you're going to attract all of those angles.
And can I just say, you said something, and I have an idea for your title folks that are out there. All right.
Please.
So as a lender and as a realtor, you're creating content that might be, what does it mean when the seller has this on the title and you have a delayed closing? What does it mean when this is popping up on your title work? What does this mean when you have a judgment against you? So you create content in small little bites that explains those things. But then remember, I said we want multiple use. So that's great for people to go search and look that up.
Yep.
But then when that pops up on title, and your lender or your realtor is like, what the absolute cuss are you talking about? You can be like, hey, this is what's going on.
I don't know what you're talking about. Real estate agents are extremely intelligent and never.
We all know exactly what's going on in title. We understand it all. There's never a surprise that hits us like, what? So then you can just say, hey, I have this resource that will explain it to you, but you can also send that to your client so you can be the guru. That's a double edge, right? So now you have it for the people out there, but now you're able to use that as a time-saving mechanism, an education platform, and a way to give value to the realtors and the lenders that you work with that makes them look good. If you can make them look good, you're doing awesome.
I love this line. I stole it from somebody, maybe Jimmy Burgess. I don't know who I stole it from, but the only viral video you really need is the video that will go viral in your client today, the one you have right in front of you, and for them, in their life. So if there was a little video you made to make something happen magical in the client that you're serving right now, that's the only viral you really need, because that is going to give you referrals. That is going to give you the wow factor. They explained it. They were nice. They got on this video. You know, my kids, it's so funny. They're online school. They'll do something, and my son got a video the other day from his teacher. It's like, hey, and use his name. Hey, it was like specific. It's like, out of everybody, you like nailed this, like you rocked this. I could tell you put the work in. I was like, dude, I got it. My teacher made me this video, right? It was specific to something in his class. And so if you think about that, and one of my buddies uses his BMW dealer when he takes his car in for service. Every time they do the inspection underneath, the mechanic sends this little video doing his walkthrough on a video of the checkpoints, shows him the tread depth and everything. But it's this short little video of that walkthrough underneath the car, something he can never see, but he always takes their word for it. But he said that in his brain is one of the best value adds that car dealership does for him, because seeing is believing. So if you want to go viral, start going viral in your customer's life today, to Charlotte's point. But then it'll naturally ding for you. You'll be like, hey, if I had this stored somewhere, that's an issue in every client or every time this crops up. And then you're beginning with the end in mind. You're actually thinking, when that crops up, I now have, and I love that you didn't say, I'm going to send you a video. You actually said, I'm going to send you a resource and make you look, that way you can be the guru. I love that one.
Charlotte, do you ever use the same content and then position it in two totally different ways? So like, for example, hey, here's for the consumer, the top 3 things you should look for when choosing a lender. Or here are the 3 things that are difference between the mortgage broker, the person who works for the bank, or the loan originator. It's whatever it might be. And then also like shift it to like almost like A/B titling. I was thinking in the real estate space, like, hey, the 3 things you want out of your realtor for the consumer, and for the realtor, it's like, hey, these are the 3 things your clients want from you. And it'd basically be the same content.
So on my channel, that's a great question. And yes, the answer is resounding yes. On my channel, I basically hit 4 things. One is the buyer's perspective, the seller's perspective, marketing for agents, and then motivation. But then I have the playlists on YouTube. So I associate those with the correct playlist. Oh, and actually 5, I'm sorry. Then I have the education piece where I'm teaching tech. So I have the teach tech, then I have like from a seller's point of view, and all of this is geared toward realtors or lenders, either one, or title. Honestly, it totally worked for title. So if you've got a title person that wants some content ideas, it would work for them as well. But the idea is I can hit all of those streams in my YouTube channel. It's all about mortgage market, real estate. It's all in the same world. It's all in the same genre. Yeah. It's just different people need different things. So I make that playlist, and I make sure every time I have something, it's also good for your algorithms to put things on playlists, guys. So I put that on the playlists that are associated. So then if I have a buyer, I even have a playlist, and you can go in multiple playlists, by the way. So I have buyers playlist, I have first time home buyers playlist, and I have credit questions playlist. And one might hit 3 of those playlists. But then when I have a buyer that's going in with credit questions, and even though they're not a real estate agent, maybe their real estate agent told them to check out my video on how to get your credit score up. They are now leaning into that, and they're going to go through all of that playlist. And I always use the next video from that same playlist.
Yeah.
In the YouTube channel. So yes,
and the playlists are a brilliant way for you to connect with your business to business partners. Like if I had Charlotte's video on my YouTube channel, in my playlist for that person with all the mortgage questions and whatever else, I mean, just how just incredibly powerful that can be. And then when you cross populate like that, it's really important for the algorithm too, right? So beautiful.
That's powerful. I think that, Charlotte, I love that you said it's a lot of hard work and just being consistent. So I would like to go back to the word fun. If you're out there and you could think of some way to make content, there's going to be some that's not necessarily fun. It's just explanatory. If you're building these small, quick hits that we're talking about, you as a marketing professional for your title company or an operations manager could literally brainstorm all of the bottlenecks in the process, where real estate agents call because something's confusing, and you could go a brainstorm, probably make 10, 20, 30 short clips to address those. So that could be like your frequently asked question bottleneck playlist. Sure. But I think that to create content, or you say, I really like that long form, like podcast or business banter that we showed on Charlotte's channel, so that I could go make a lot of social media clips using Opus. Well, then here in my brain, it's like, make sure that is something fun. Make sure it's, so for me, when I interview Mike on a Zoom call about coming out and speaking for Energize, and he's dropping truth bomb after truth bomb after truth bomb, and I'm like, oh, I wish some of my agents that I work with and coach and speak for could hear that. I'm in my head thinking, this is a fun Zoom. Why don't we just do this like more public? And it's like, boom, yeah, you know what? And the Mike's like, yeah, I used to like podcast. I'd love to, like, boom. Now we're just having coffee podcast. Mike, last Saturday I was in a hotel, right? We had a ton of fun. You were on the road.
Great shows.
You were going to Atlanta to go speak at this big event. So we just jump on, check in, and have fun. So I would say that piece of it, look around the industry. I know I've shared this strategy before, but look around the industry at some of the partners who will, in your industry right now, there's a senior loan officer who, she has been at it a long time, and she is not going to become Charlotte Harrell. She's not going to go create a YouTube channel. But your YouTube channel could be a platform to elevate and highlight her and her expertise and her skill. And she could go back and tell stories from like the, 80s and 90s and like 14% interest rates and 6% is actually really good, guys. Like, she could go there. And then for your clients who are like, yeah, I think I'm gonna wait for rates to come down, you'd be like, hey, I just interviewed, Sue Smith, and she's been doing this a long time. And could I send this over to you? I think the perspective would be great. Or for like the month of April, you could go chop that long interview with Sue Smith up, and they just make April all about like, hey, American Dream is still viable. Rates are not that bad. And you could literally just pump out those shorts from one interview. You could just kind of pump those out couple a week and just slow. And I think that this gives us this less is more mindset, that you don't have to get on and record over just tons. You can slow down, record some internal stuff, and then maybe go interview a business partner once a month and then share that. And by the way, who do you think Sue Smith would be sharing? Whose social channel would she be reposting all month long? Yours. And your face is now in her channel of probably some really high-end clientele. So all right,
I just want to,
what do you guys?
You had mentioned the how do you make it fun? And I want to stop for a moment, because if that's not your core, fun is my core value. And the people that are attracted to me like that part of my business. So maybe that's not your business. Maybe you're an attorney and the people are attracted to you because you're really freaking smart, and you don't have to be fun. So with that, I mean, you want to make sure know who your people are. Who are the tribe, and why are they attracted to you? And every part of your marketing and every part of your business, that's important. You need to know who you are and why you stand out and why people use you.
Yeah.
So once you get that, then
we should work with here, Charlotte. Just one.
Yeah.
She knows the tea. She knows the use and the work with.
So I mean, you really have to know that, and then develop something that's going to speak to those people, because we're doing this to serve our clients and the people that we know like us. Yeah. So make sure that if fun is your thing, then, and if you want to learn how to make your stuff fun and you want to call me, I'd be glad to talk that through. If you want to talk about how to be extremely legalistic, that's not me, but that might be you, and that's not wrong.
I love where you went with that. Here's the other thing. Know who you are. Know your strengths, but know your weaknesses. And the thing is this is a video platform. So if you're like, I tried this before and it was just dry, we need you. Like, the world needs you. We need your legalese. We need your smarts, but know your weaknesses too. If you're not the like videographer type and you're listening right now thinking this could be a good avenue to build some education and some client experience, you have somebody on your team who could literally co-host this with you, and who could take your legalese smartness and flip it and keep the joy and the fun with it. And we need both. So I think that, to Charlotte's point, keep it fun might mean who could you do it with? Because at the end of the day, I mean, I'll be honest with you. If I'm just hearing somebody just plod through legalese stuff, oh, here we go. Let's just do this real quick.
No, I'm not gonna play it. But when you want to talk about fun and who you want to do it with, this is me and my wife. We're doing a little video about making a mint julep during Derby season. What'd you say?
But who's I think Chrissy's more fun than you. So like, who's the fun and who's the smart in that? That's
well, you'd be the judge, right? So but we did a whole thing. We did a whole thing here on this one where we went through the process of how to make a mint julep, and we tied it into real estate things as we went with like muddling and using good ingredients and choosing between whether or not you used sugar syrup or actually like a sugar cube, like how going through this whole thing. We did this for the mint julep because it's Derby time. Yeah. And we also did it an old fashioned one based off that we kind of do things the old fashioned way. So. So we mixed it in and we made it fun. So
go ahead, Charlotte. Were you going to comment?
No, you're good. I love it, by the way.
Okay, so
she likes Chrissy a lot more than me too. So
some of those aspects of YouTube are powerful when you're starting to think through. Okay, I mean, we've talked about kind of client journey stuff, how to insert some YouTube video, Charlotte, like you do with me. We've talked about like repurposing, but think about like YouTube as a benefit to have a video like that. That's kind of seasonal, informational, and you're like, and here's what I hear from people. Well, everybody does the mint julep. Everybody does but everybody can't do it for your database, for your sphere. Mm-hmm. So do the video, put it on your channel, and then take it and put it into your sphere email campaign, marketing, constant contact that goes out and say, hey, Derby season's coming up. Chrissy and I jumped on and did this. Thank you to all of our agents. Thank you to all this stuff. Use that in your client experience and like that touch that continues after. You'll be shocked when I ask this question, like, speak in front of a group. I'll just say, who has a consistent monthly drip resource that your broker isn't pushing out? Like a lot of agents will subscribe to like what the broker pushes out, but who is doing like you own your sphere and you're pushing out a nice communication that is just newsworthy, that's just fun, that's just I would want to check it out. It's not just like repurposed real estate news garbage, because I don't look at those. I just delete. In fact, those go to my spam. I don't even look. But that right there Mike just showed, that's another use. You put a monthly video together about what you're doing as an office. What are you doing? How are you tearing up downtown Richmond? Like what do you do? What's coming? And then drip that out. So where are you guys at? Mike, was that similar to what that video was? Did you push that on social media?
We did push it on. I was actually trying to remember because I thought we put it on YouTube, but that was actually a Facebook post that we did. And I'm not consistent with it. I mean, I think one of the things, the conference that I just spoke at, one of the things I came across from was like, do we want to have a more consistent YouTube strategy? And mainly Charlotte, I love what Charlotte's talking about, because they need to get to know us. Like if we get referred, they go check out our YouTube channel and they kind of get a sense of who we are, I mean, obviously you're going to love us. But then at the same time, like if we talk about trust being the multiplier, right. This is going underneath the hood, with the video, or underneath the car with the video where most people can't see, and you get a real idea of who you're working with. I think it does it maximizes trust so much, and you can't get really more authentic than what happens on, authentic video, not cloning yourself and putting yourself in a video and having the AI speak perfectly or whatever else. So yeah, I'm a fan.
And if we're trying to do something monthly and we want to make it simple, this is a great way of doing that. So if you have a weekly YouTube video that goes out for whatever that topic is, and let's just say you want to have that monthly communication that is more authentic and more real, it could just be, hey, here's this month's top video. It got the most views. It's about this, so I thought I'd share it with you all. And then have one blurb that dives into that thing. By the way, you could put your exact words into your AI. Again, this is you now, so we're not creating or generating, and create a quick newsletter that is authentic and quick and easy and steers back to what you've already created. If we can monopolize on what we've already created and make that really easy, then you're saving the day.
So by the way, this is going to be something, again, Charlotte is going to be teaching to my company. We'll get the date figured out about how this is going to happen. Charlotte, if people want to, because we're getting close to the end of the time, if people want to bring this kind of training to their mortgage office, if you're a lender and you want to do something for your agents, or if you've got a real estate company and you want to do something for your agents, or a title company who wants to host something, how can people get in touch with you, and what's the best way to kind of understand the courses that you offer? everything from getting your AI to know you. That's the first course I took with Charlotte, to doing all these kind of cool strategies to kind of optimize your YouTube channel or your social media. Where can people find you?
Yeah, the best place is The Charlotte Events. So THE Charlotte, CHARLOTTE. It's on the screen. It's a long name. I'm sorry. Events.com, and then just /keynote. And that is where you're going to find a list of most of the things that I talk about. However, if there's something that vibes with what I'm doing that you want me to, absolutely. I had somebody, they wanted me to do Claude. I normally do AI. I mean, yes, I'm a bit of a tech geek. So just tell me what you want me to learn. I'll spend the weekend. I'll absorb it like data, and then I'll come in and make it fun for you.
And can I also just throw out that the three of us have done an entire event, just the three of us. And if you wanted to bring all three of us to your company, we're there. We'd love to do it.
That would be
just reach out to Charlotte.
Earth-shattering right there.
Yeah, we'd love to do it. I mean, I think we vibe. We have a good time doing it. So. For sure. Tim, we got one comment here. This is from Meg of Key Title. Tim, love the idea of bottlenecks in the process, top FAQs.
Sweet.
Noted and will be using. Thank you. So fantastic. Beautiful. Thanks for sharing the takeaway.
Meg,
good stuff right
awesome.
there.
Yeah. So bottlenecks in the process, FAQs. It's awesome. And Meg, you're so articulate. I can't wait to see what you produce. Now, sometimes I get the questions after doing something like this. Hey, you didn't like share the screen and show how to start a YouTube channel and walk through all the clicks. Guys, there is a YouTube video for that. So just type in YouTube, how to set up a YouTube channel, and
ask Gemini.
It literally today takes 5 minutes to set up a YouTube channel. You record the video you can go on Zoom and record a video with somebody across your office on their Zoom screen. Hit record and then upload. Like, don't overthink production. So an attorney paid this company, he just told me, we were talking like $10,000 come in and take all these takes, and then he didn't even like it. He didn't like how it sounded. It was too scripted. It was too whatever. Really think through who in your office could help do this. There's a lot of expertise around your office that would be great to get out of just our heads and put into a shareable format. And then just brainstorm and just start. You start recording. Let somebody, you could have your kid come in and set up the YouTube channel. It's that simple. Here's the number one thing. Don't get stuck. There's no reason to get stuck. Reach out to us if you have a question. Don't get stuck. But start thinking about the multiplication effect, the compound effect, that having your face out there talking about a subject. Charlotte, you're going to be speaking with me next Thursday. And while you're on stage speaking at Bold by Design in Knoxville, somebody's going to be watching your face talk about wire fraud. And as real as wire fraud is every single day, thank you from F&F, from all of us as title professionals. Thank you for being a mortgage person who went on and did a video about wire fraud, right? So that's one I want to share, right? So think about being a go-giver and sharing and creating things that gets it out of your head and shareable with your partners. And you'll become a sticky, valuable, fun asset.
And I was just going to mention on Recharging with Champions, that's my YouTube channel. If you go to the education part, so if you learn how to set up your YouTube channel, I will give you my shortcuts because I could not do it without Descript. I don't have time. Descript is my lifesaver. I teach Descript and I do teach how to make the thumbnail. So both of those are in the educational side of my playlist. So go check it out if you want to do that.
So go to Charlotte's channel first and check out the Descript and the thumbnail, which Mike and I will be watching your thumbnail video. Mike, before Saturday's conversation, that's our homework, so that we can do better thumbnails.
We need to have thumbnails and the cards. I don't know. I haven't used the cards yet. Do you use the cards at the end of the video as well, Charlotte?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Charlotte, before we get off, you get the microphone for a golden nugget of wisdom. Does not have to do anything with YouTube or anything. Just we're in mid-April. Tax day was yesterday. Mid-April, spring market's already way over. Like everyone's already looking towards something. Like, where do we need to be headspace mindset? Like,
I would just say it is time to take action. So whether that be make a YouTube channel, calling and touching base, if you're grassroots, touching base with the clients, this has been a really good year for a lot of people. So if you are not experiencing that, then it's time to take action. I feel like we mind overthink. And if you go back to my YouTube channel and look at the beginning, there was some pretty rough videos, right? I
Same.
mean, they were not great. It was dark. I didn't have great I don't think I even had thumbnails. My kids were like, Mom, you forgot this. But I took action. So if I could just take action, even if it's not perfect, get out there and do what you already know you need to be doing. And that will exponentially help your business. And do it every day. If there's anything I've learned from the 75 Hardest Challenge, decide what you're going to do, commit to it, and do whatever that is every single daggum day. Do it. There's no
Powerful.
Love it.
Awesome. Charlotte, thank you. Everybody, thanks for joining today. Mike, as always, man, great stuff.
See you, bud. Love you
Thank
both.
you for having me, guys.
The Trust Factor podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts. You can even watch us on YouTube.
And subscribe to the channel so you can comment and drop your questions and share it with your team.